I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benfold sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benfold sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benfold sentient beings. Sanje juda zoge jonamla chanjo bardo dane gyapsuj. Thank you. Yebe sonam ge drola pe sanje drubara isho sanje juda zoge jonam chanjo bardo dane gyapsuj dage. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma he evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham dathagato hyavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay, a continuation from where we left this morning about emptiness. What we're learning this morning is how the two questions. What are two questions? Do things exist? Answer is yes. What second question? Do things exist objectively? What answer? No. Very good. Okay. So with this then we learned about how emptiness equals dependent origination and how dependent origination equals the middle way. Therefore, emptiness equals the middle way. Very good. And in other words, when you think about emptiness, it is advised to think of dependent origination a lot. And emptiness should be understood in the form of dependent origination. If you don't understand, if you cannot relate emptiness with dependent origination, then you are not actually getting emptiness. So no matter how much you speak about emptiness, it doesn't really give you any connotation of the emptiness if we don't think about dependent origination. So dependent origination should be the reason why we see things as empty object reality. Okay. So what we said is we gave examples like, for example, we talk about the prank where we feel the fear when somebody plays a prank on you, coming as like a ghost, then you feel fear. The moment you come to know that this person is not a ghost, then your fear dissolves. So from this, just tell me somebody, we already did this a lot in the earlier few days. Tell me why this fear dissolved when you come to know that it's just a prank. why the fear they came to dissolve? Anyone? Why the fear dissolved? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, David. Okay, David, and then Avinash. First, David.
It is all because you could see reality as it really is. It was no ghost.
Okay, you see when you see it as a ghost, you see the what is non-real as real, and when you see the non-real, that actually the reality that is not ghost, then the fear dissolves. Avinash.
The cause of fear, which we thought is gone after we know the truth. After we knew the truth.
Yes. Okay. So when the fear is there, we do not know the truth. Let's not forget this. We do not know the truth. The moment you know the truth, then the fear dissolves. How many agree with Davidla and the Abhinash? Okay, we all agree. The moment you come to know the truth, the fear dissolves. This is how it works. Now the truth, it has so many layers. There are so many layers of truth. For example, if somebody asks you, what is this? You say, this is a flower. Is this truth or not? It's also a truth. What is this? It's a bunch of atoms. Is it truth or not? It's also truth. It's a bunch of the molecules. It's also truth. They're all truth, but the truth, there are various levels of truth. So therefore, the truth that we're going to discover is something that you discover that, and all your fears of samsara dissolves. Not only the fear of dream, but the fear of samsara dissolves. This is what we are trying to learn here. So from here, as David Lam and the Avinash, two of them said, that we come to know the truth. So truth, you see that before you discover the truth, you see it's a real ghost. So your friend appears as a ghost. Appearance, wrong appearance. It appears one way, but the reality is your friend is a ghost or not. Not. So this is a word. There is a discrepancy between appearance and reality. What does it mean by discrepancy? What does it mean by discrepancy? Sangela? Okay, discrepancy means you see a flaw here. Reality is one thing, but it appears a different way. Again, Manke? Shuraganala.
Discrepancy, kebarjimeda. Denbe menu nechi ku kebarji discrepancy.
Kebar
Kebar.
Mindawa.
Kebar midawachi. Denbe menu ne kebarji discrepancy.
Less. Also. Oh, so it appears. Okay, look, discrepancy, the gap beneath the discrepancy. Okay, what other words are there in English? Discrepancy, gap, the difference. In other words, like contradiction. Yes, like contradiction. Very good. So this word is very beautiful. Discrepancy. It appears in one way, but the reality is different. There's a discrepancy. There's a difference between appearance. There's a difference between appearance and the reality. It appears as conflict. Conflict. There's also a good word. Conflict. Conflict between appearance and reality. Okay. So on the how many of you had very scary dreams once upon a time? Very scary dreams. Okay. You had the scary dreams. So in the dream you are very scared. You come out, you are freed from the fear. You agree? So why you were scared in the dream? Because the dream appeared as real. Appearance, and the reality is not. There's no ghost there. So the discrepancy between appearance and reality. Okay, this is very important. Discrepancy between appearance and reality. It appears in one way and it exists. Reality is very different. This is known as the discrepancy between appearance and reality. Okay. What is... Okay, mirage, you already explained it. Mirage. Mirage. So, mirage, mikyu. Say, from distance you see there's water, but there's no water there. From distance you see the water. How many of you have seen mirage in your life? How many have never seen mirage in your life? Raise hands. How many of you have not seen mirage in your lives? Hey, no? Okay. Kamalji, you have never seen mirage. Oh ho. And Jimela, you have never seen mirage. Okay, mirage actually, generally speaking, it is said that in the sand dunes, in the daytime extremely hot, and the heat waves will go like this, you see the water. This one, but not necessarily on the sand. Even on the road, you can see that. Even the road, you can see that. Tar road. Then heat is the air. From distance, when you run fast, then you see the water there. It's not like the road, there's water there. Very clean water there. When you reach there, there's no water. There's mirage. Okay, Mr. Losar here? Mr. Losar, did you see mirage when you're driving? Oftentimes. In Tawang? Never. Okay. So these young nuns were unfortunate. You have never seen. Now you have to come to Delhi. Go to Delhi to see the mirage. Before Delhi, go to Bodh Gaya. Right? Bodh Gaya, you see much of mirage. Okay. Tamjinla. Mirage. Yes, indeed, you have seen that. But sometimes they see, but they don't notice. You noticed? Good. Yes, exactly. These are descriptions. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So let's say mirage. Is it real water or not? No, there's not real water. So mirage appears as water, but in reality is empty of being water. Okay, let me say this once more. With the mirage, it appears as water, but in reality it is empty of being water. So, is there a discrepancy between appearance and reality with the mirage? Is there a discrepancy between appearance and reality? Yes, no? Huh? Yes. What's the discrepancy? It appears as water, in reality, empty of being water. Okay, so let me say this once more. With the mirage, is there a discrepancy between appearance and reality? Yes. What is the appearance? The mirage appears as water. What's the reality? It is empty of being water. Very good. So therefore, mirage is known as like an illusion. It's an illusion. Okay. Okay. Is this mirage or real water? It's a real water. It's not illusion. But whereas mirage is a illusion. It appears water, but it's not water. Okay. So the Buddha taught everything is like mirage. Everything is like dream. Everything is dream. So the dream, okay, in dream, is there a difference between the appearance and reality? The dream, is there a difference between the appearance and the reality? Yes, no? Yes. What's the difference? Say you have a dream of a ghost. Appearance-wise, appearance of dream appears as a ghost, real ghost. In reality, it is empty of being a ghost. Very good. So the dream is also illusion because there is a discrepancy between appearance and the reality. Okay, let me say this once more. If somebody asks you, how is dream illusion? You say, because there is a discrepancy between. Oh, by the way, what's the spelling of discrepancy? Manjiriji. Yeah. No, spelling. C-R-E-P, P-A or P-E-N? Okay, P-A-N. Okay, so discrepancy. Somebody Google search. P-A-N. You checked it? You know that? So look, this is known as wisdom drive-through reflection. I know it, right? Don't check it. I know it. Damdul is saying that I have the wisdom drive-through reflection. I know this. Don't check the Google, right? This is the wisdom drive-through reflection. Very good. This confidence that she has. Okay. Now, if somebody will ask you, by the way, what is the spelling of discrepancy now? Okay, young nuns. D-I-S-C-R-E-P-A-N-C-Y. Wow, this is amazing. I wish I'm that smart like them to learn very quickly. In a few seconds they learned it. Discrepancy, amazing. Okay, now if somebody would ask you, how is mirage, illusion? Then you say, mirage is illusion because mirage has a discrepancy between appearance and reality. Okay, let's say this once more. How is mirage illusion? Because mirage has a discrepancy between appearance and reality. Okay, what is appearance? What is the appearance of the mirage? Mirage appears as a real water. What is the reality? The mirage is empty of being water. Very good. Okay, now with this, let's say the dream goes. Dream goes, is that illusion or not? Yes, it's also illusion. How is it illusion? It's illusion because it has a discrepancy between appearance and reality. What's appearance? The dream ghost appears as real ghost. What's the reality? Dream ghost is empty of being real ghost. Very good. Okay, now, how many understood this minimum 80%? Minimum 80%. How many understood this? Very good. Very good. Okay. So with this, now the Buddha taught, not only the dream is illusion, not only the mirage is illusion. Everything is like illusion. Everything is like illusion. So how can we... So if everything is like illusion, which means that even this flower is also like illusion. So how is it like illusion? How? Give the answer. Because the flower has discrepancy between appearance and the reality. Okay, let me say this once more. If mirage is illusion, dream is illusion, echo is illusion, or what? Reflection of moon in the water. Reflection in the moon, reflection moon in the water. Is that illusion or not? Huh? Is that illusion or not? How many will say it's illusion in his hands? How many say no, it's not illusion in his hands? How many say it's not illusion in his hands? Just speak your mind, whatever comes to your mind. Sharmilaji, illusion or illusion? No, really, it's not illusion. Okay, now let me share this. These are extremely important anecdotes, stories. We need to remember them. Say, there's a story. I don't know if these young nuns, they heard this story, but others, most likely you have heard this story. That, say, one monkey saw the moon reflection in the water. One monkey saw the reflection moon in the water. And the monkey was so worried. Oh, the moon has fallen in the water. Right? So, he was telling everybody, all the monkeys, please come rescue the moon. And everybody said, yes, we'll come to rescue. So one monkey was helped by another monkey, 500 monkeys. And coming to pick up the moon. While they pick up, everybody falls in the river. Why they fall? Because they did not know that this is a mirror, this is illusion. They thought this is real moon. So reflection moon is also an example of illusion. Very good. Okay, now let me put this once more. How is the reflection in the moon an illusion? Why? What makes you think that reflection in the moon is an illusion? What's the answer? Because there is a discrepancy between appearance and the reality. Very good. What's the appearance? The reflection appears as moon. Reflection of the moon appears as moon. What's the reality? Reflection of the moon is empty of being a moon. Okay, how many understood this? Raise hands. Okay, if you understand this, my next question to you is this flower. The Buddha taught not only the reflection of the moon, not only dream, not only mirage, everything that exists in the universe, they're like illusion. If we are to say that even this flower is also illusion-like, so give me the reason. How is this flower illusion? Because this flower has a discrepancy between appearance and reality. Okay, so now what is appearance? What is the reality? I'll explain later. With the flower. Okay, let's say that what is the difference between water and the mirage? What's the difference between water and mirage? Anyone? Jahad? What's the difference between this water and the mirage?
Mirage is illusion.
Mirage is illusion and this water is real. Yes. Anyone else? So, particularly with these studies, you don't think that, okay, it may be against the scripture. No, don't think like this. Whatever comes to your mind, say this. What Jahad said, this water is real and the mirage is illusory. You're getting it? This is how we have to grow. This is so important. Okay. Now, say, what makes you think that mirage is illusory? What makes you think the mirage is illusory? Anyone? Tushar. Okay. What we say? Okay. If possible, try to rephrase what we said before.
If we go closer to mirage,
No. What we said before.
there is a discrepancy between the appearance of a mirage and the reality of mirage.
Very good. Okay. So what Tushar is going to say, go closer, that will come a little later. Right? Thus far, what we learned is that how is mirage? Okay, the lady over there, what's your name? Yes, Lisa. So what is the difference between mirage and the water?
So the discrepancy between the appearance of a mirage and the reality of a mirage is different, entirely different. And when we talk about water, again, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the water, there's no discrepancy between appearance and the reality. With the mirage, there's a discrepancy between appearance and reality. Perfect. Very good. Okay. So how many understood this? Raise hands. Good. Okay. Now, so what we learned here is this illusion has a connotation. Illusion has a connotation. Connotation meaning it means. Illusion means where there is a discrepancy between appearance and reality. Whenever there's a discrepancy there, then that it becomes illusion. Okay. Now let me ask you one thing. Okay. Look at the person who's sitting next to you. Look at the person sitting next to you. Everybody's smiling. I just said look at the other person. I did not ask you to smile. But you're smiling. I didn't ask you to smile. I just asked you to look at the other person. Okay, don't forget. Okay, I'm very serious. Look at the other person. Oh, you're still smiling. I can see that. Okay, never mind. It doesn't matter. Okay, now close your eyes. Close your eyes and think of the same person who made you smile. Think of the same person who made you smile. Okay, very good. I'm so glad. Now you're not smiling. Right? If you smile, it's time for you to go to mental hospital. Right? And I don't think there's mental hospital in Tawang. Churagandila, no mental hospital in Tawang. Okay, lucky nobody smiled. Right? If you close your eyes, still you smile means something's wrong. You're getting it? I'm glad that nobody smiled. Otherwise, I'm a little worried. Okay, good. Which means that, okay, now my question to you. In the first case, what made you smile? In the second case, in the first case you saw the face of the person, it made you smile. In the second case, you think of the same person, but it did not make you smile. Why? Why in the first case you smiled, while in the second case you did not smile? Why? Just speak your mind. Anyone? Speak your mind. What do you think is the reason? Anyone? Reasons? Anyone? 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 Quick. Yes, Lisa.
Because in second case we were imagining the person, so it was an imaginary view, the illusion of the person. It's like a reflection of that person. So that's why we were not smiling.
Okay, how many agree with Lisa? Lisa is saying that in the first case, I'm seeing the real person from the object. In the second case, it's not from the object, it's my imagination. Imagination is objective, subjective. Subjective. In the second case, it's subjective. In the first case, objective. So therefore, objective makes you smile. Subjective makes you remove your smile. If the smile comes, go to mental hospital. You're getting it? So the point is that when you see things objectively, it affects you. This is a very important point. When you see things as objectively real, it affects you. It can make you sad, it can make you excited, smile, and so forth. When you know that things are subjective, come from the subject, then emotion is under your control. You getting it? Emotion comes under your control. When you see things as subjective. When you see things as objective, then you lose your emotion, control of your emotion. Okay, let me say this once more. When you see things as objective, you lose control of your emotions. Emotion not under your control. Then you anger, attachment, jealousy, fear, everything comes when you see things as objectively real. Whereas when you see things as subjectively real, you know that it's coming from your mind. Your emotion is under your control. Attachment, anger, jealousy, all under your control. So even the fear is under your control. Because the fear is under your control, you can control fear. No fear. You can stop the fear by seeing things as subject. This is so precious. This is so precious. So on this planet Earth, why the Buddha was not happy with the first two teachers, Acharya Alara Kalam, Acharya Uttarika, they taught the Buddha the meditation, but they did not teach emptiness. This concept. You got how things are coming from the subject, empty from the object, objectively empty. This they did not teach. In fact, on the planet Earth, it was a Buddha who taught this first. How things coming from the subject, nothing from the object. This is what the Buddha taught on the planet Earth for the first time. So therefore, they say this is, when you see them, then all your emotions are under control, like your fear, anxiety, stress, everything under control, and you're liberated from the fears of samsara. This is liberation. This extremely precious concept. Okay, from this what we learned is that if we see when does your smile come? You see the person in real or you imagine the person? When does smile come? When you see the person real, means objective. When you see the person objective real, then the smile, anger, attachment, fear, all these arise. When you see things as subjectively real, subjective, not objective, all your emotions are under control. You're getting it? This is so important. Now, now look at this flower. How does this flower appear to you? Objective, subjective. How does it appear? Right? The Buddha taught this flower is everything is subjective real, nothing objective real, but we should be very honest. How does the flower appear to your mind? Objective, subjective. Objective. Okay. So this is known as ignorance. We see the flower, we see everything is objectively real. Okay. Now, so where you see everything is objectively real, that is ignorance. That affects our mind so easily. So now the question is, now how many of you would say that, okay, it makes some sense. If I know that everything is subjective, everything is empty of objective reality, my emotions will be under control. For example, like the smile, involuntary. Okay, did you smile voluntarily or involuntarily the smile came? Involuntary. Involuntary is good or bad? Which is better? Voluntary is better or involuntary is better? Voluntary is better. You're getting it? Voluntary means you have some control. Involuntary means you have no control. So, involuntary smile comes. This is loss of freedom. You don't have the control. You don't have the freedom. It's the loss of freedom. Loss of freedom is misery. Misery is samsara. Let me say this again. The involuntary smile comes. Involuntary meaning loss of freedom. Loss of freedom is misery. Misery is samsara. You're getting it? Good. Okay. So now from there, now from all what we discussed thus far, what do you think is important for us to know? Just speak your mind. From what we have learned thus far, what do you think? Okay, now I got something. From this, I have to learn this. What do you think is something that we have to know? Anyone? 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 What do you think is that, okay, now listen to all these things, discrepancy of appearance and reality, and involuntary, I'll smile, involuntary, I smiled because I saw the person as subject real. When I think of the person, I know it's imaginary, it's subjective, empty objective, so therefore the smile is not coming, is my emotion under control. You learn all these things. Now what do you think is very important to know? Anyone? Just raise hand. Raise hand. Okay, the Makarand. It is so important for us to know how everything is subjective. How many agree with Makarand? Raise hands. How everything is subjective, way Abhinav said, reality. How do we know the reality? That everything is subjective. Okay, subjective means, what is the other way of saying subjective? Raise hand, anyone? What's the other way of saying subjective? Or Kabirji?
It's all from your mind and it's not objectively real.
Okay, subjectively means empty of objective reality. Let's not forget, these are the technicalities. These are the technicalities. We need to be very technical. The more technical we are, of course, we need to understand the concept. Understand concept and put it in a very technical form, you understand it becomes crystal clear. Crystal clear. And then your emotions can be under control very easily. Okay. So, everything subjective means nothing, everything is empty of objective reality. Okay. So, what we need to learn is how everything is subjective or how everything is empty of objective reality. Very good. Okay. For this, we need to know 5 pairs of opposites. Okay, we need to know 5 pairs of opposites. The first, subjective as opposed to objective. Or you can say subjective slash subjective slash objective. Number 1. Subjective slash objective, which means subjective as opposed to objective. Number 2. Dependent as opposed to independent. dependent slash independent. Or better would be dependent as opposed to independent. Next, conventional as opposed to ultimate. Conventional as opposed to ultimate. Next, deceptive as opposed to true existence. Deceptive as opposed to true existence. And finally, relative as opposed to absolute. Relative as opposed to absolute. What's the first one? Subjective as opposed to objective. Number two, dependent as opposed to independence. Next, conventional as opposed to ultimate. Conventional as opposed to ultimate. Next, deceptive as opposed to true existence. Deceptive. D-E-C-E-P-T-I-V. Deceptive as opposed to true existence. True existence. And finally, relative as opposed to absolute. Okay, we need to know these 5 pairs. Okay, so of these 5 pairs, let us remember these 5. Of the 5, pick up the first 5, they are synonymous. Pick up the next 5, they are synonymous. Synonymous meaning, same meaning. What are the first 5? Subjective, dependent, conventional, deceptive, relative. Very good. Okay, so these are synonymous. Synonymous meaning, same meaning. They all mean the same. Subjective, dependent, conventional, deceptive, relative. Okay, these 5 are synonymous. Synonymous, or these 5 are synonyms. Okay, then next, the opposite 5. What are the opposite 5? Objective, independent, ultimate, true existence, and absolute existence. Very good. These 5 are synonymous. Very good. This is very important. So later on, when we think about emptiness, if you can think about all these 5, this will help us to give a very clear understanding of emptiness. Okay. Now, what's the first one? What's the first pair? Subjective as opposed to objective. So now tell me, dream is subjective or objective? Dream, subjective, objective? Very good, is subjective. Mirage, subjective, objective? Very good. Echo, subjective, objective? You say, in Tawang the echo is common? Very common. It says that in the remote places in the past, the telephone is shouting, right? Hey, and then from there it says, hey, right? Okay. Sometimes in the caves, you say stupid, and you say you stupid. You say you're good. You say you're good. So this is echo. So the echo gives the impression somebody's talking. No, it's not a real person talking to you. It's just the reflection of the sound. Okay, so echo is also subjective. Okay, my next question to you is, rainbow, subjective, objective? Okay, how many of you say subjective reasons? Rainbow, subjective. Okay, I want to say objective reasons. Rainbow, objective. How many say not too sure? I'm a little confused. Reasons. Okay. Rainbow is very tricky. Dream, subjective, objective? Subjective reasons. Dream, subjective reasons. Okay, all of you agree. And the rainbow, not sure, reasons. Okay. Rainbow, how many you think is subjective reasons? Okay. Losar, tell me, why subjective?
Because as mentioned earlier, it appears, but the objective reality is different. You can see it, but you cannot.
Losar is saying that the rainbow appears, but objectively is different. But the rainbow, can we take photograph of rainbow? If it is from the object, can we take the photograph of dream? No, why not? It's purely subjective. But the rainbow, we can take photograph. Yes? Okay, what about mirage? Can we take photograph of mirage? Huh? No? Or the young nuns, you have no idea, right? Okay, so that you have to come to Delhi to see the rainbow, not the rainbow, mirage. Okay, Ajit Amdila, can we take the photograph of the mirage? Huh? Okay, so the Tamdila is saying, yes, I think so, which means not sure. And the Manjari-ji, sure? Not sure. Or Kamalji? In films. You have never seen mirage in real life. Then you are not the right person to say on this. Okay, somebody who has seen the mirage and who has actually seen photographs. In fact, Kabirji, why don't you take a photograph? When we go back, say when you're riding a car, and then you take a photograph and see if it comes on the photograph. It comes. Then mirage, there's some element of objectivity also. Okay. Lobsangla, please make sure that you take a photograph of mirage next time. Please, yeah. And let us know. And particularly show this to these young nuns, so that they will know what mirage is like. Very good. Okay. Now what it is saying, the first thing, what is the first one? What's the first pair? Subjective as opposed to objective. So we have learned subjective, objective. How many of you understood, okay, subjective, objective to some extent? Raise hands. Subjective, objective. What is next? Dependent and independent. This is very important. What is next? Conventional and ultimate. Okay, I'd like to touch on this part. If you understand the conventional, you have to understand dependent, you have to understand subjectivity. You're getting it? So I'll touch on this part, conventional today. Conventional as opposed to ultimate. So the Buddha said, everything exists as a dream, like illusion, like a mirage. Everything is conventional. Everything is subjective. Everything is dependent. Everything is deceptive. Everything is what? Relative. Okay. So now everything's convention. The conventional. Is there anybody who likes to explain to us what is conventional? What is convention? To know what is conventional, we need to know what is convention. Okay. Let me ask the Ajay Jimela. How would you understand convention? Just speak your own mind, whatever comes to your mind. Convention. Anything that comes to your mind? What is the convention? You know the word convention.
I know the word convention, but I don't know, I can't explain it.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, anyone else who likes to explain what is convention in your own terms? Okay, the lady there. Your name?
Shweta Talwar.
Shweta ji. Yes, Shweta ji.
Something which is very typical.
Say it again.
Something which is very typical.
Something which is very evident.
Typical.
Typical. Like?
We say very conventional means it's what is normally
Exactly,
accepted.
exactly. Okay. On the, let's say, in the morning, there's a fog. It's very conventional. Or he smiles to everybody. Yes, he's very conventional in this area. Very conventional. Okay. Any other meanings? Anyone? Okay. Yes. Abhinash.
Generally accepted.
Okay. Convention, generally accepted. So same word can have multiple meanings. One as Shwetaji said, conventional means something what did he say? Something which is typical. Very good. And here now saying generally accepted is conventional. Can you give me some examples? Abhinash? Okay, never mind. Anyone else?
Weather.
Okay.
The weather.
The weather. Oh, the weather is generally accepted.
It's cold for everyone. It's
Okay, this weather is generally accepted as cold. Polar bears will say, no, it's not cold. It's very hot. Polar bears, right? Hey, the young Anilas, you know polar bear? You don't know polar bear. Okay. Well, polar bears are the bears which exist in the two poles, South Pole and North Pole. So there, the temperature is like minus 40, 50 degrees centigrade. So the polar bears, they survive there. For them, at the moment, it may be like 12, 14, 15, 16 now. 14, 15, 16 is very hot for them. So what Abhinay is saying is that for all of us, we agree, generally accept that this temperature is cold. Or cool, I would say, not cold, cool, pleasant. Very good. Manjariji. Okay, rules. Rules in general. Rules in general is a convention. What makes you think the rules in general convention? Mike.
I had in mind traffic rules that are conventionally accepted by within their given societies. Like in India, we observe certain rules.
Yes.
That are very different from America or Europe.
Yes. Okay. Say the get up at 4:30 is a rule. Getting up before 4:30 a.m. is a rule. Is a rule or not rule? It's a rule, right? Right. So if you don't follow this, no, why 4:30? Why not for 4:35? No argument. It's a rule. Who made the rule? Your nunnery, you're building the house, made the rule? Or who made the rule? Huh? The warden? Huh? Caretaker? Who? Caretaker made the rule, right? Caretaker is a human being or the house? Huh? Care is a human being. So therefore, look, convention has a connotation of, so the caretaker's mind decided, caretaker's body decided. Care is mind. Mind is subject or object? Subject. You're getting it? So the rules are subjective. Rules are coming from the mind of somebody. So subjective. So convention means rules. Okay. Likewise, like what Shwetaji said, convention means something which is very typical. It's many connotations. So here, the convention is like a rule. Okay. Any other understanding? Convention? Okay. Now tell me. You tell me. What is this? Huh? The chahat. It's just 2 fingers. Oh. Who said it? Yes. Parag, say it again. Tell this to Jahat. Huh? Victory or peace? You getting it? Victory or peace? Don't say 2 fingers. You getting it? Okay, now look. Now if this is peace, there should be 2 pieces. Right? 1 piece here, 1 piece here. Is this peace? Parag? No, this is not. You are getting it? But you cannot reason. So this 1 piece, this 1 piece. This 1 victory, 2 victories. No, what I'm saying is, you said this victory. Peace and victory. So this is peace victory. No, people will laugh at us. What happened in the Dumalakang? Right? What are we learning? 2 piece, victory and peace. What is this? Right? People think that these are the people to go to mental hospital. Okay, so now my question is, how is this peace? Tell one. How is this peace? Huh? Huh? It's a sign. Then this is also a sign. So why is this a sign of peace or victory? Why? Somebody decides that, okay, Dr. Ondile, what would you say?
Convention.
It's convention. Very good. Oh, Sri Ondile. Same. It's convention. It's just to say that, okay, in future, if there's any communication, if there's some conflicts there, we don't want to conflict, and you don't want to communicate verbally, just do this gesture. And then that will understand that you want peace, you don't want to fight. You're getting it? This says, somebody made this as a convention. And who made this convention? The person. Person's body made it or person's mind made it? Person's mind made. Mind is subject or object? Subject. You getting it? Subject. So subjective, conventional, they mean the same. And also, they said this become a peace, sign of peace, by dependence on the convention, dependence on the mind. So dependent, what is it? Dependent as opposed to independent. So we say out of four, we see what? We see subjective, convention, these two mean the same. Now, depend on the mind. So these all three mean the same. And deceptive. Deceptive, why deceptive? What does it mean by deceptive? Anybody? Yes, Lisa. Okay, deceptive has a connotation of discrepancy between the appearance and the reality. This is deception. Okay. So it is not absolutely true. Say that deceptive means it appears one way, say somebody coming in the form of ghost, and you are so scared and you realize that it's not ghost, it's your brother. Then you come to know that it's deceptive. I was deceived by the appearance. You're getting it? So say subjective, conventional, dependent, deceptive, and relative. Relative means not absolute, not absolutely true. So these all mean the same. You're getting it? Okay. Now, in Tawang, when driving, where should you drive? On the left lane or the right lane? Okay, I will ask these youngs, the young nuns. Where do you drive? Right or left? We have to right. Okay. The Churagandela. Now these nuns are saying we have to drive on the right lane. They never drove. But they've been in the car. You've been in the car? Anla, you went to the car? Car? Yes, no? Never? Yes. So the driver drove on the right side or left side? Okay. Right. Right side. Wow. Okay. How many drive? Raise hands. And I think India, the Arunachal and the rest of Tawang and the rest of the India is same rule. So the Makran, tell me, where do you drive? Left or right? Tell these nuns. There's we drove on the right. So my question is, which lane do you ride? Left or the right? And you said right. By the way, you are right. Okay, good. So, now tell me, the nuns, where do you drive? Left or right? Left. Very good. Okay, don't drive on the right. You'll be in problem. So now, tell me, if you drive on the right, what's the problem? Traffic police will stop you. They will fine you. Why? You are on the wrong lane. And who decides that you are on the wrong lane? Tell me. The road tells you? The road tells you that you're on the wrong lane, or who tells you you're on the wrong lane? The road tells you or not? Road does not tell you. Road is object. Object does not tell you you're right or wrong lane. Who decides? The traffic police will tell you. And traffic police, how traffic police says that this is you on the wrong lane? Because first person who made the rule in India said that we'll drive on the left lane. Anybody who drives on the right lane will be put to penalty. You getting it? So that person who made the rule, is the body who made the rule or the mind who made the rule? The mind. Mind is subject or object? Subject. So therefore this rule is also, traffic rule is also subjective. You're getting it? Okay. Now, the next thing that we to learn is, okay, now how many of you are pretty confident with this? Subjective as opposed to objective? Presents? You get some idea. Now what? Conventional as opposed to ultimate? You got some idea. Presents? Conventional rules, regulations, so forth. Good. And the dependent as opposed to independent, dependent on the mind. Dependent as opposed to independent, resents? Good. And deceptive as opposed to true? Deceptive. There's no real rules there. It's just what a mind makes. It's deceptive. Okay. Finally, relative as opposed to absolute. You got it. Very good. Now, the next very important point. Before we jump to this, I'd like to ask a question to you. Okay. What is this? What is this? Water. Okay, if I ask same question to the chemist, they will say this is H2O. You agree? They will say this is H2O. And if I ask the physicist, they will say this is electrons, protons, and neutrons. Who's correct? Who is correct? Sahil. Who is correct? All three of them are correct. All three are correct. How many agree with Sahil resents? All three are correct. But when you're very thirsty, if you see it as electrons, protons, neutrons, do you feel like drinking it? No. Okay. If you see water, you feel like drinking it when you're thirsty? Yes. When you see electrons, protons, neutrons, you don't feel like drinking. Okay, now tell me, how many of you are 30 or below 30? Raise hands. 30 or below 30? Raise hands. 30 or below. Hey, all the Anilas, raise hand. You're below 30? Okay. So those people who are 30 and below, they're very happy. He is saying we are younger ones. Okay, now 31 and above reasons we are a little unhappy. He is disclosing our age, right? Okay, so now tell me, say age. Say I am 58 years old. Look at me. Do you see me as a 16 years old boy? No, not at all. Not at all. Tell me age. Age. Okay. How do you see that I am not like a 16 years old boy? Resents? Be very honest. Don't feel shy. Yes, that's true. I don't see you as a 16-year-old young boy, right? Okay. What is age? Age is the body or the mind? Don't speak. Don't be philosophical or don't be poetic. What is age? Age is determined based on a body or a mind. Body, you're getting it? Is a body. Do you agree with me that all our bodies are made of cells? You agree? Body cells. Cells. C-E-L-L, cells. And the body cells are made of molecules. Yes. Molecules made of atoms. Yes. And believe it or not, the atoms which made my body and atoms which made this young Anila's body, they are all same age. There is no difference in the age of the atoms. All the atoms that exist in the universe, they are minimum 15 billion years old. No atom is younger, no atom is older. You agree with me or not? How many agree with me, raise hands? This is science. This is not philosophy. This is not religion. But on the atomic level, we are nothing but made of atoms. Our body is made of atoms. On the atomic level, there's no difference in age. Everyone is, all the atoms are 15 billion years old. Minimum 15 billion years old. Because the atoms, they don't have creation, they don't have destruction. Whatever we have, they came from the 15 billion years ago. This is a fact. So on the atomic level, there's no difference. One is younger, one is old, there's no difference. But when you look at each other, when you look at me, you don't see me as a young boy, like a 16 years old boy. You don't see that. Invariably, you do see that there's a difference in age. But this age that you are seeing is like an illusion. But when you go there, closer, you see that it's not really true. Okay, so with this in mind, my next question to you is, say that you are seeing me 1 kilometer away from where I am. You are seeing me 1 kilometer away from where I am. And you see me in the water. You see me in the water. And you're wondering, is he really in water or what you are seeing is mirage? Let me repeat it. You are seeing me in water from 1 kilometer away. Is he really in water or is what I'm seeing just mirage? Okay. Now, I'll ask a question to all of you. Tell me, how do we evaluate whether I am really in water or what you are seeing is a mirage? How will you evaluate? Raise hands. Raise hands. Raise hands. Taraji.
We'll check. We'll come close to you and we'll check whether it's a mirage.
You'll check. Thank you. Okay. Anilas, how will you do? If you see me in water, 1 kilometer away from distance, you see me in the water, you wonder, is it really water or a mirage? It's an illusion. How will you check it? So Taraji said we have to check. How will you check it? Anilas, tell me. How will you check? Yes. How do you check whether I'm really in water or what you are seeing is mirage?
By coming closer towards
Very good. Okay. By coming closer to me, you are getting it? By coming closer to me, you see it's dry. There's nothing there. It's dry. What will you conclude? What I earlier saw was mirage. You're getting it? So, to see if what I'm seeing, if that I'm in water, if there is real water or a mirage, how will you decide? You come closer to the object. So this is what Arya Nagarjuna taught. So we have to say this together. First I'll say this, and we'll say this all together 3 times. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Or you want to write it? Write it down. If the mirage, this is by Arya Nagarjuna, the text is precious garland, Ratnavali or Ratnamala, precious garland, by Arya Nagarjuna. It says, if the mirage, what is the spelling of mirage? M-I-R-A-G-E. If the mirage were to be water, comma, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, comma, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay, now tell me, what is this? Flower. And how does this flower appear to you? As objectively real or subjectively real? How does it appear to you? Objectively real. Now, okay, by the mirage example, what Arunachal taught, my question to you, you say that it exists objectively. It appears objectively real. And I said, no, it is subjectively real. How will you evaluate if it exists objectively or not objectively? How will you decide? How will you check? How will you evaluate? Evaluate meaning, how will you check? Anyone? Sneha. Okay, objective means say this flower and imagine a flower. Imagine flower. Imagine a blue flower. What I have is a red flower. You imagine a blue flower. What is the difference between this red flower and your imagined blue flower? What's the difference? What's the difference between the red flower I'm in my hand and the blue flower that you are thinking? What's the difference? Yes, Anila. Very good. Red flower it appears objective, and the blue flower is your imagination, is subjective. You getting it? So red flower is objective, and the blue flower is subjective. Okay. Now, say that you see this flower as objectively real, not as subjective. And I say that is subjective. So we debate. Two of us debate. You say this is, okay, let me say, I say that this is objective, and you say that you studied under Acharya Nagarjuna, and you said that this is subjective. And I say that this is objective. And how will you prove that this is subjective, not objective? How will you prove? How will you prove, or how will you evaluate? Anyone? 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 No one. How do you check that this flower, you said that this is subjective. I said this is objective. How do we evaluate if this is objective or subjective? How? Anyone? Okay, Sharmila ji. By going closer to the object. Going closer to the object. Now, going closer to the object, okay, now let's see. Let's see. By going closer to the object, you end up seeing this flower is nothing but made of atoms, billions of atoms. You agree? And atoms are very tiny particles. And it says that, okay, now if you look through the door, look at the other side, what do you see? Okay, we all look at there. What is on the other side? Not that wall. Beyond that wall, what do you see? What do you see? What do you see? What do you see behind that?
There are some trees far away. Forest.
Forest. You see forest. How many agree with Chirondula's hands? We see forest. And what tree is that? Do you see which tree that is? Is it oak tree? Do you see which tree that is? We don't see that. You see the forest. We don't see the individual trees. You getting it? How many agree with me, hands? We see the forest. We don't see the individual trees. Now, you go into the forest, you will see the individual trees, you will not see the forest. You getting it? You go into the forest, you see the individual trees, you don't see the forest. Likewise, from distance, you see the flower. It's a flower. You go into the atoms, you will see the atoms, you will not see the flower. You agree? Okay, now tell me. Say, to see if the flower, how does the flower appear to you? Objectively real or subjectively real? Objectively real. How do you evaluate this? To see if the flower exists objectively or subjectively, how do you evaluate? By going closer to the object. Going closer to the object, first you see, it said this you must see under the electron microscope. And of course we don't electron microscope, but okay. By the way, Chulakandela, what is electron microscope in Manke? No, just explain it. Chishil. Cheshel, to see small things big.
Microscope nyochi that is not something science lab ka gan mo class ching nega. Omo share ko ga table priuchi them neang priuchi them rocha thur melon show ga tiang them damage nime. Ochim cheshir. The budget ka in cheshir 10 dong priuti 10 dong.
Thank you, Sragandela. Okay, did you understand? Okay, so the microscope, there are various levels. Some are extremely powerful to see the very, very, very tiny atoms. So, just imagine that you're looking at this flower, which appears a flower, which is like the forest as a flower. When you go into the atoms, you see the individual trees, you don't see the forest. Likewise, you go into the atoms, you see the atoms, you don't see the flower. You're getting it? Now you come to which is closer, seeing this on the atomic level or seeing from distance, which is closer to the object? Seeing this on the atomic level, this is closer. Okay, so you come too close to the object by going on the level of the atom. On the atomic level, flower is not there. You just see the atoms. Like the forest, you go into the forest, you see the atom, you see the trees, individual trees. You don't see the forest. Okay, now tell me, earlier you see there's objectively a flower. Now you go too close to the object, you end up seeing the atoms. No flower there. Now tell me, where is this flower which you earlier saw? Earlier you said, yes, I saw a flower there. Where is this flower? Anyone? Where is this flower? Right, flower disappears. You see the individual atoms. No flower there. But when you do it like this, you see the flower. This is illusion. You see one way. In reality, you go to this object, the flower disappears. Where's the flower? Okay, subjective, objective. Yes, now you say, oh, it appears, but it's not really there. It's not from the object, but it appears to the subject, so therefore it is subjective. So we say the flower is subjective. When you first understand it, it's quite scary. Right? Okay. If you look at your parents, you see them younger or older than you? Older than you. But when you go into the atomic level of the parents, your atom and your parents' atom, they're the same age. There's no difference. And oh, now I'm old like them, right? You're very scared. Then I'm also old like my parents. You feel scared. Initially, there's a fear comes. So this is where everything the Buddha taught is like illusion. You're getting it? Okay, we'll go more, study more. Tomorrow morning, this afternoon, we will go to the school and the nunnery. Okay, we'll stop here. Deyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisvaha. Three processions together.